Good evening, good morning, and good afternoon, or whenever you decide to listen to us. This is Take a Pull podcast, episode 79, coming to you late on Thanksgiving evening. Happy Thanksgiving to anyone that does celebrate that holiday, I suppose. Unfortunately, you're only going to see me tonight. Deck is having a few camera issues, but I can ensure you, for anyone that's watching on YouTube, it doesn't matter if you're listening on an audio device like Spotify. That Deck is here with me, don't worry. So Deck, how are you doing? How are you feeling? I know hopefully you're looking good. I hope, but what's the crack?
Yeah, I am here, but I'm having an absolute mare with the laptop, so I'm on the phone, and it was too hard to set the phone up to just point at me, so we knocked the camera off on the phone. But look, come here, we've a red hot card to look forward to and to run through. So we 8 races on Saturday, and plenty of good betting opportunities, I'd say, as well.
Oh yeah, no, there definitely is. There's a few that I really fancy on this card on Saturday, which I'm thoroughly looking forward to as well. Like, yeah, look, like, before we get into it, I suppose, obviously we had a little Twitter Spaces or X Spaces on Monday evening, which went down quite well. So thank you anyone that's on that app that listened to us. But a quick Punchestown recap, I suppose. Like, what a weekend it was, wasn't it? A fantastic John Durkin. It just makes you really look forward to Christmas, doesn't it?
Yeah, it was an absolute cracker, and I think the beauty of it is, we said this during the week, that they all walked away quite happy, and we'll fancy their chances the next time and the next time after that. So the division, the Stay and Chase division, is really, really healthy in Ireland. So look, we need to enjoy it and look forward to the rest of the season.
Absolutely. Couldn't have said it better myself. Right, Deck, well, we'll fly on to the first Fairyhouse. It's the 11:35 on Saturday. It's the SIS Beginners Chase, and I know you put up a tweet about this race earlier on. We've got a strong field of 15, which includes the chasing debut of Impere Pass. We've horses that ran so well in the Martin Pipe last year in answer to Cave and Waterford Whispers. 2-3 and Staffordshire Not for Gordon Elliott. O'More Park in there as well for Willie Mullins. Like, this is a really strong race. Look, I'd imagine Impere Pass, he's obviously achieved the most over hurdles. He's probably also had the most time over hurdles. He's likely going to be odds on. If memory serves, though, he didn't enjoy making all the running in a Irish champion hurdle in February. So usually with these best ones, they tend to just go out and make all in their beginners chases or maiden hurdles. So that might not play to this horse's strengths, but he is going to be probably one of the fastest horses in the race. He clearly has a change of gear. Do you think it's a straightforward task for him on chasing debut, Deck, or do you think there's anything in here that could maybe be a spanner in the works?
In a race this deep, I'd be taking him on odds on. He showed, I thought, in the spring that he could be quirky. He looked like he should have won the race a lot easier at Aintree. And then I don't think he was the most straightforward at Sandown. Now, he did carry a penalty that day and gave way to Langardan. I'm not sure they were the deepest of races again, and the Bob Ollinger fans will be out to get me again. But I don't think they were the deepest hurdle races. So he did disappoint before that. I think he was just outstayed in the Hatton's Grace, but he was well and truly put in his place after that by State Man. So look, I'm not sure he is all that, and I'd be just a little bit concerned about a little bit of quirkiness he showed. Look, there's nothing better than fences to put that right, but this race is very, very deep. Like, Answer the Cave, although he's an 8-year-old, he's a lightly raced 8-year-old, fourth in the Martin Pipe, second to Back to Normal, horse we're looking forward to seeing over fences. That was in their auction final. It's an awful pity he's 8, but he is 8. But he's still improving, and he is definitely one to look forward to this season. O'More Park has had a bit of a stop-start career, but fences could be the making of him. Look, 7-year-old, another one to look forward to this season. Staffordshire Not. You think he's a Gold Cup horse, and he.
I did until I read a report.
what's the
Well,
once he had
it
the
was
kissing
he had
spine?
he had an operation on it for a kissing spine, which
Yeah,
he's best watched on Chase and Debut. But yeah, no, he does. I think he is going to be a significantly better chaser. And Sammy went
yeah,
right instead of Jack Kennedy. Jack Kennedy on 2-3, the 5-year-old in the field there. So
yeah.
interesting to see how
Well,
that goes.
that's the way I was heading. Andy, look,
Mm.
Staffordshire was second. The brighter days ahead are Aintree, but I'm not sure that was the deepest race either. But 203. I spoke to you about him last year, Andy, and I'm sure I talked about him on other pods. A 5-year-old, I think he's very, very exciting. He won his maiden at Leopardstown in March. I think he won it by about 30 lengths. Again,
Yeah, he
probably
did.
wasn't the deepest, but was look, he done it really, really well. May have been a little bit disappointing there when he was behind Queen of Bourbon, but geez, Willie's horses were in such good form that weekend when he wanted to win the title in Britain. But I fancy 203 here, assuming he can jump fences. But you have to assume he can all jump fences if you want to back one. So he is one I'm really, really looking forward to this season. And he
Right.
has age on his side. There's a lot to like about him.
Yeah, 203. I said 2-3. Oh, yeah, I'm gonna get probably more abuse for butchering horses' names. I prefer 2-3 though. No, you're right. You were actually quite impressed with him. I remember you telling me when he won at Leopardstown by half the track in March. No, I don't think he did a whole lot wrong getting beaten by Chapuis du Soleil, and then obviously
Yeah.
he probably was a little bit disappointed behind Quiet of Bourbon, but I suppose you could maybe argue there was 3 races in the space of a month and a half, so it's probably asking a lot of him. And look, Quiet of Bourbon is a horse that I cannot wait to see as well. Hopefully he's okay and he comes out quite soon, because he could be a seriously good chaser as well. Yeah, look, Staffordshire not. I do want to see him like jump around, give it a good go. I think there'll be plenty of races to be won with him, assuming he can jump. Assuming that kissing spines issue is is rectified. Look, he was so impressive in his maiden hurdle as well. Obviously, didn't probably beat a whole lot. And you are probably right. Like, even though he was second in Aintree, like he was in a different postcode to brighter days ahead. Really, she was much the best that day. But this horse has always shown like shaped as a chaser to me. Let's just hope he can jump well. And look, we haven't really given much of a mention deck to Waterford Whispers.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know you want. We probably the horse is blacklisted after getting nabbed in the pipe for us. But look, it looks like he was actually nabbed by a very, very good horse in brighter in better days ahead.
Look, I just will say on him that I'd like to see him after the disappointment that Punchdown. I am prepared to put a line through it, but I'm not ready to back him at the same time.
Yeah,
and this is a very, very deep race, and a lot of people have talked him up as being a really good chaser. He was beaten in a handicap hurdle at the festival. He does have a bit to find with, like, certainly with Imperial Pass, who's won a grade 1 at the festival. He's probably closely matched with Answer the Cave, but he's 2 years on him. And look, I hope he does turn out to be an absolute good thing over fences. But as far as Saturday goes, it would be 203 for me. And just because my camera's not working doesn't mean we have to lose the power music, Andy.
No, exactly. Well, it's still here. Can you hear it?
No, I can't hear it.
You can't hear it. No, it's there. Don't worry. I can assure you it's there. If what do you call it though? Yeah, Waterford Whispers. I'm a bit surprised they're not starting them over 2 miles. Personally, I would have started them over the minimum trip, because he doesn't
teach him to jump and to get a nice mark.
Yeah, a bit of both. Yeah, but like, look at the way he travelled through the Martin Pipe. Like, you'd have no problem going back to 2 miles, in my opinion.
No, he absolutely tanked. That was probably the beating of him, is the fact that he absolutely tanked. But I'm just not ready to back him on.
No, I wouldn't either. Not in Chase debut, no way. Do I want to have a little bit on Staffordshire? Not. Look, given the procedure,
he has to get over the course.
Yeah,
as well.
He does.
The course of the Caldwell.
Oh shit! Yeah, he does, doesn't he? Yeah. Oh my god, he does. He does.
Yeah,
well, actually, Phil Door put that right at 1-40 today at Thurles. So Good for him. Got a little bit of their 600 grand back there for that one. So nice one, lads. Right. So Deck, I'm not going to have a play in that race, but you're going to have a bit on 203, yeah.
203 for me, Andy. Yeah. Sorry, apologies. The Gremlins are out in force tonight. I've demons in my head and Gremlins in me gizmos.
Yeah, no, it's not been the greatest tech night, and I feel like I'm playing a blinder now. But no, I'm only messing.
I think I'm a better talker without the camera.
Yeah, carnage behind the scenes in Tap Studios. Someone's getting fired. Anyway, look, we're going to move on to the 12-12, or the second race on the card. The race and stay ladies handicap chase. There's one I really fancy in here, Deck. I'll get to it in just a moment, but we have a 13 runner field. Usually it's a good idea just to back the JP horse because he tends to have the best jockey in these type of races, and Anya O'Connor probably is one of the better jockeys in this race. Only a 5-year-old, Deck. I think Shajak has maybe caught you out on more than one occasion. Do you fancy him here?
Caught me out the last day and should have won. Was he second? Should have won. I'll be against them here, but look, there's a few I like in here, but I've one selection. St. Dennis as well. Like, he's got himself to a nice level, and he's such a likeable horse. He's still only a 6-year-old, and he feels. Or maybe it's just us. For us, is it because we've talked about him so much and we backed him so much, so he feels like he's around for a long time. Cara Monaghan takes the ride, and I say she knows him quite well, and he's a horse I can see running quite well for Cara in this race. Rowley Bowley Boy, Phil Rothwell is in such good form at the moment.
He's flying.
He even had a horse to win a beginner's chase today. Fidelma Elvin takes the ride. He's been second off this mark twice before. He is off since March though. With improvement there, you'd expect him to go close. Sam McGee, point-to-point winner, did win a rated hurdle. This is Handicap Chase debut. I'm not sure whether he might just need this for experience, but like, he's a decent jockey booking in Georgie Benson in a race like this. But the one I will go for is Ring Dufferin, and Charlotte Butler is on board. You'd want to be forgiving the 2 Quebecan runs now, but I am prepared to forgive.
And then be forgiving them more than I'd be forgiving your bleeding camera.
Look, Kilbeggan is, you can just not like Kilbeggan. And Kendana actually had a bad experience at Kilbeggan. He was pulled up at Kilbeggan as a young horse. But Ring Dufferin's chase debut at Downpatrick was an awful lot better. A hurdle winner off 114 on heavy, £3 higher here is his handicap chase debut. But look, has handicap experience, even if it's over hurdles, and has won. So off £3 higher, I'd be keen enough now on Ring Dufferin.
Right, well, I'll give you one that's just going to win. Well, hopefully anyway. It's Pebble Blue for me, the number 11 on the card.
Yeah. I actually thought she would be a nice horse to follow through the summer. We covered a tap at Killarney in May, and I don't know. She didn't turn out to be as nice as I thought.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Look, she beat Joy of Evo at 18-1 in October. Showed a really good attitude to get the better Joy of Evo. Now, that was off 99. She got raised for £7 for that, up to 106. But then she tried to make all the running in the listed mare's chase at Clonmel in early November. The race was won by Pink in the Park. Allegory Devassi seriously underperformed that day. She was 4th. So you obviously have to discount her when talking about form lines. But when you look at the horses around her, she was beaten less than 13 lengths by Pink in the Park that day. Pebble Blue was rated 106. For context, Pink in the Park is rated 134. Must Be Obeyed, who was second, who probably ran her race, is rated 132. And then you've got A Law of Her Own, who was third, is rated 123. Now, she was beaten about 8 lengths by the winner, carrying 10 stone 4, carrying the same as Pebble Blue, who was, as I said, tried to make all the running, was beaten just under 13 lengths. Now, Pebble Blue is rated 106. The handicappers left her on 106 for that run, probably because she was beaten just about far enough, but she battled on and she tried her heart out. And even though she was beaten to 13, 14 lengths there, I think they're a little bit lucky that she didn't get a bump in the weights for it. If anything, this is a marked drop in class. She's one of the best jockeys on her back in Maxine O'Sullivan. She's only 5. She won on her penultimate start and ran it, in my opinion, a career best last time out. I think she's very well handicapped mare off 106 based on how she battled on at Clonmel. And to be honest, I'd actually be nearly disappointed if she gets beat here. I think it's currently yielding ground. I think there's a little bit of rain forecast, Deck, is there?
Well, it's wet out at the moment, I think, or it was when I was out with the car earlier. Yeah. And I think with a good bit of rain this morning. Now, they are watering at Fairyhouse, but they're struggling to get it down because of the weather. It's like, it was quite cold last night going to bed, but today was a bit milder. It wasn't as cold like mid-morning. So
yeah,
I don't really know, Andy. I don't know what the ground's going to be like.
Yeah,
to be honest,
it could be questionable, but look, as long as it's not really, really testing, I think this mare is going to be really hard to beat. I'd be borderline disappointed now. If she's not in the first 3, I'd be disappointed, but like, I'd be kind of actually a little bit disappointed if she doesn't just go and win, to be honest with you. So it'll be Pebble Blue for me, with Maxine up there. I think it's Maxine O'Sullivan, isn't it? Emma O'Sullivan. Anyway, so look, I'm very fancy her big time. And Deck, your you weren't on Sir Dennis as well. It was...
No, I wasn't on Sir. It was Ring Dufferin.
Yeah. That's going to be Bar, I'd say, that one. with the
Give up. No. 6-year-old. No, Ring Dufferin's... look, he's won a handicap hurdle off £3 lower.
Gordon won the race last
year. He's only 2 points bigger than York now on the tissues.
What are the tissues then?
Your 10s.
If I got 10-1 on that mare, I'd be. I think it's my birthday all over again.
Yeah,
rolling the clock back 2 weeks.
I know, but like, I just like Colin Motherway.
Okay, we'll leave it at that. Anyway, so onto the 12:45, the Easy Fix Equine Handicap Chase. Imagine an Easy Fix fence. That would be like the easy the brush hurdles.
There is they are making fences, and they certainly make them schooling fences.
There is schooling fences, yeah. I don't think they're on courses yet, but
it's coming.
It is coming. It's definitely coming.
Well, Fairyhouse are now using the traditional style Easy Fix hurdles. Yeah,
they are nice actually as well. Right, 11 runners here, Deck, for the 2 mile handicap chase. Look, where do you go with this one? Like, the big chap, obviously in career best form at the minute, has won 2 of his last 3. If the rain stays away, you'd have to have a very good chance under Jack Kennedy. Uncle Phil was the Dan Moore winner here last season, returns to this course and distance. Probably fair to say a little bit below par at Ascot. Visionarian drops back markedly in trip after a fair enough effort. I'd say a fair enough effort at Down Royal behind Envoy LN over 3 miles. Also dropping markedly in trip is American Mike under Carl Miller, getting £5 off his back there with that very useful claim as well. I would nearly take a chance on American Mike. I know he stopped kind of quickly in the Tri-Town, but he didn't half travel into the race. So maybe like this experiment, maybe a little attempt at 2 miles under Carl Miller, maybe is just what the doctor ordered, possibly. Definitely has the ability to win a race like this, in my opinion. And it'd be interesting to see how the market speaks from Deck. But who do you like?
Yeah, well, didn't he? He made his beginner's chase debut over 2 miles, I think.
I think it was 2.5. It B
Mm.
factor foil, was it? It was 2.5 of
Oh
B
yeah,
factor was two
yeah,
and a
yeah.
half. He's never ran over fences, ran 2 miles over fences to my knowledge. I think he's
Right.
only actually ran 2 miles once over
But
obstacles.
that's probably it's an absolutely beautiful piece of form, but it's probably his only real piece of form. A lot of his form was behind, like even going back to the bumper, it was Facile Vega, and
They probably
he just
killed each
didn't.
other a bit, didn't they? Like that's a
They
bad thing to
might
do.
have like even going back to the Supreme now, like with Marine Nationale, it's not. It's not good form, is it? Looking at it now in hindsight, hindsight's always 2020. But no, look, he wouldn't be for me here. Visionarian was unlucky in a Galway plate off 148. I think, did he miss the start or did he something?
Visionary. I think that was 2 seasons ago where he was left at the start, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Is that what
yeah,
you're
yeah.
thinking of? Yeah.
Yeah. So he was just saying he was unlucky off £3 lower. He is a 9-year-old. He's been in decent enough form. I thought he ran okay for a long way in the JM Wine at Down Royal. His 2 mile novice form is arguably his best form, and this is the first time he's ran over 2 miles, and he's dropping back into handicap company. So, like, he is the classy horse in the race. I think he'd give it a good go. Keith Dunn, takes the Royal. The big chap, such a lovable horse, loves Fairyhouse, 7-year-old. He won off 140 the last day. He's got £4 for that. He's won 2 of his last 3. He wants really good ground though, so I'd be waiting on the day to decide whether I wanted to back him or not. Rebel Gold, now 11, been dropped by the handicapper for turning 11. He was second in the handicap order the last day. It's 116. He's in here off 140. He won the Dan Moore off 136, but that was a few seasons ago. And look, I think he'll run a nice race, but I would be disappointed if he won it. But look, you'd love to have owned him. The Folks Tiara beat the big chap off 124. The big chap is now £10 higher, but he's probably improved. Whereas the Folks Tiara is only £2 higher than that run. Like, if you're going for the maths, that has to put him in contention. But as I said, the big chap has just kept improving, and he's probably a better horse than he was that day. But Andy, the king of PRs is in here.
Here he is. Is he going to be?
Yeah.
Is day to day though? What's the?
Well, this is the thing. Like, Conor Stonewall's going to take the ride and take 6 off. He's 2 chase wins. He's an improving horse. I think he's going to win chases this year. Not at Chase. He's going to win chases. I don't know how fit he is. I don't know if he's ready. But
I'd say
he's going to win.
Yeah.
You'd say he is ready.
Was he not a non-runner a few weeks ago?
He was a non-runner, and we were going to take a chance on him that day as well.
He was entered in a few races, yeah, and he just hasn't been
declared.
But so I'd say he's ready enough, all right.
Look, if he's ready, he wins it. He's going to be... I don't know how good this horse could be. He's just... All he's done is improve and improve. He won that... Was it here that he won that handicap hurdle when I was locked on the other podcast? I think it was, and...
that was
like he's
I think it was Bunches now, but yeah.
No, I think it was Fairyhouse. He ran off Fairyhouse the day I thought he wouldn't win anyway. Look, I just think I think this horse is the most improvement in him. The big chap has been improving, but how much more improvement is in there? Visionarian is the classy horse dropping back into this from a grade 1, but like they've all had their goals of winning nice races. The Folks Tiara won that race at Leopardstown where he beat the big chap. Like, they've all had their goals at nice races. This is the king of PRs could win this and go on and win again this season. Or if he's not off, if he's not off, I would like it's proper bet the next day. I think you're just a little bit unsure. But
it would be the 2 mile handicap chase at Leopardstown on Stevens' day, wouldn't it? If that's what they're
but there's no reason why can't go on and win that after winning this. It's Shade Cosley.
Yeah, I
Ease down.
suppose. Like there's a route for him in 2 mile handicap. Like you've got Leopardstown on the 26th. You've got the Dublin Racing Festival over the same course and distance. You've got the Danmore. You've got the Grand Annual.
Yeah, he ran in the Grand Annual last year, but like I'd forgive any horse a poor run in the Grand Annual.
He fell in it, didn't he? Though he fell like.
Yeah, but he was beaten.
He was out the back of the telly, wasn't he? Yeah, but yeah.
Yeah, but it's a sort of race where if you don't get into it and get into a rhythm early, you will be out the back of the telly.
Yeah.
If you don't get a position, it's a race I'd say you need a lot of luck in. So it's a performance I'd obviously be willing to put a line through. But I think if he's ready, he wins this. If he's not ready, he definitely wins the next day.
Very good. Well, the good old King of PRs. I had a feeling you were going to go down that route. Yeah. Look, I'd say Uncle Phil is interesting given his Dan Moore win last year, but like I don't know if 147 is much of a gift at the minute for his rating. I've been a little bit disappointed by him actually since he's won the Dan Moore. He's just been struggling a little bit. I think I might take a chance.
It just gets harder, doesn't it? Like if
but he had just turned 7 at the time though, and like I think it was I think he was quite unexposed, he was dropping back from a grade 2 or just touched off by Imagine. He'd won the time before. Like there was reason to be optimistic, and it just kind of hasn't materialized. Maybe he wants softer ground, possibly. I'm just trying to make excuses for him now though. That could be the case, but I couldn't say for certain. I'm going to take a chance on American Mike. Look, he travelled nicely into that Tri-Town. He did stop pretty quickly. He traded at a short enough price. I think this experiment come back to 2 miles. Carl Miller is, in my opinion, a pretty good jockey from the front as well. Like I do remember his rides on Maxim last year at the Dublin Racing Festival and at Punchestown. So I think he might try and ride him similar and try and maybe sap the stamina out of his rival. So I'll take a little chance on American Mike. Onto the 120 is the Kettles Country House Hotel supporting Fingal Ravens GFC Race Day Maiden Hurdle. Cheney Mac, that is a mouthful. That was a long one. It just wouldn't stop. Anyway, the former champion bumper winner, the son of Mu Harar, and the horse that has probably kicked more hurdles out of the ground in schooling sessions than any horse in the history of the world, A Dream to Share, makes his hurdling debut in public here. And it's only tongue in cheek, but I'm going to want to see it to believe it. If he jumps like his brother does, what's his? I can't even remember his brother's name. Liberated Light, isn't it? Liberated Light. Same yard. Yeah, he couldn't jump a shadow. So let's hope that A Dream to Share is a little bit better over the sticks. But obviously a very, very interesting runner. Don't Stop the Music in here from Martin Brassel. He came up in the Listener Horses to Follow podcast, so it'll be interesting to see how he goes. Travelled beautifully in that 2.5 mile bumper at the Punchestown Festival, won it well. Hopefully they can crack on, have a clear run with him. Another horse I think came up in that podcast was Harbour Highway for Emmett Mullins, who tailed off in the Grade 1 bumper at Punchestown after winning prior to winning a nice bumper, beating My Way of Thinking. He's tongue-tied first time, which kind of gives me the that kind of anxious feeling, I suppose. Tongue-tied first time over hurdles, kind of, maybe did he make a noise in that bumper? I don't know. But anyway, Dec, this is a strong enough race. We've 25 runners with the 3 reserves. Where are you looking?
I have no interest in who wins this race. Literally none.
Right, go on.
None. But I'll obviously be looking for the horses out the back. And I don't know who they are yet, but I've no interest in who wins this race. Like A Dream to Share, this fourth hurdle race. Like the glass is gone off him now. I don't think he's going to jump. We're saying that quite a while now. We were saying that this time last year. Harbour Highway, like, was it the ground at Punchestown? Was it too fast? Would he just not let down? Look, it's not. From the races we've had so far, like the Beginner's Chase on the card, is mouth watering. But this, I couldn't care less who wins this, to be honest. And we've no opinion on it.
Fair enough. Well, look, we've Ballygunner Castle, who has won 2 bumpers as well for Willie Mullins and Paul Townend. Kind of shaped like he'd appreciate a trip, though, especially in his second bumper. Although he did have a penalty that day, so it probably was a decent effort to win that bumper at Tipperary. Carrying 12 stone that day, so it's not easy to do that in bumpers. I would probably take a chance because Henry's Yard is in such strong form at the moment. Somasky, I suppose. He's in here, so he won his debut race, beating a Tip for Gold, who I think is now a 125 rated hurdler. He's had plenty of chances, but he has gone on since finishing second to Somasky. So Henry won 2 maidens at Punchestown last week. This lad now going to come here. Mikey O'Connor takes the ride. I'd say he's a pretty fair chance. Like he's already clearly achieved quite a bit, winning that bumper at Limerick. So I would take a little chance on him. But it's the ones that are finishing, 6th, 7th, and 8th are probably the ones you want to watch here. And just to give listeners or watchers a note, like this is the maiden that Firefox
Ballyburn.
Yeah, so this was probably the best maiden hurdle ran in the country last season. I don't think it's going to be the strongest maiden hurdle. Like I'd say the 2 maiden hurdles ran at Punchestown last week look to be stronger than this one, but obviously time will tell. And we've plenty of bumper winners, plenty of expensive purchases still in this race, and we also have a former champion bumper winner. So maybe I'm being harsh, but I
don't think it's that deep. Like, you would understand if this was the 2 mile 6 maiden hurdle at Punchestown last week. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. This could be a 2 mile 6 maiden hurdle. I think it's not. It doesn't look hot now before it. We could end up with egg on our face, but do you know what I'm saying? I know that 2 mile 6 maiden at Punchestown last week always turns out to be a good race, but if you change the distance of this to 2 mile 6, would you?
You'd be looking at most of them thinking they get it no problem. That, in fairness,
yeah, you know what I mean. It'd be a typical one of those hurdles that is not a 2 mile hurdle.
Yeah.
Whereas I actually do think that 2 mile 6 maiden hurdle, and I said it to you the night before, I think that could be a really, really good hurdle. A lot of good horses in there, I think.
I suppose if Special Cadeau can run to his mark of 125, depending, like if he wins the race, then you can just throw the form in the bin. But if if he's well beaten and you think he's ran to his mark, you can probably take any horse that finished in front of him, maybe mark them up a little bit, depending on how far they finish in front of him. But it's going to be Special Cadeau's stablemate for me, Somasky. So yeah, look, I think it's an interesting little race, but it's
definitely, I'll definitely be watching it, keeping an eye on it. But like winning it and good horses coming out of it, you might get well handicapped horses coming in.
Yeah, no, you definitely will. That's Attaboy Charlie came from it last year, so. Right, so the 155 from Fairyhouse is the WillowWarm hurdle. It's a grade 3 for 4-year-olds. Is this a new race? Like I don't. For some reason, I just cannot.
Yeah, I feel like. Hang on, I'll tell you now. 1 second.
Or if it has been, it's been the last year or two, maybe.
Yeah, Risk Bell won it last year. That was, but there's no previous years. So
all right, so it is pretty new. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Right. Well, look, I'm never going to begrudge the 4-year-olds that have ran last season. It can be sometimes hard to place them, so I think a race like this is welcome. And given the declarations, it's quite it's definitely welcome, because we got Bottler Secret, Gimme 5, the Down Royal Handicap winner Calaconti. We've got the Listowel Handicap winner Eagles Reign. We've got the Wood who I believe is undefeated over hurdles. Bar that time she got one in the stewards room, but still won the race, I suppose.
It wasn't a bad one to get now.
Yeah, it was over Nürburgring. So
yeah.
So and then we've got Anzadam, who is in a first-time Hod, who's won 2 races in France now, debuting for Willie Mullins. I've got a funny feeling this is the one that's going to be possibly overbet. Like if he's challenging Butler Secret for favoritism, like just even strictly on the RPRs. I watched this second run. It was I had dug it up. It was tidy, winning. You know, he won kind of as easy as he liked. Jumped fair. You know, stretched away at the last, but you know, an RPR of 113 versus Butler Secret, who's recorded RPRs, his highest RPR been beating Carl de Terrell of 139. So, you know, he had, even though he's getting £5 off Butler Secret, who should be race fit, it is going to be a big ask. What I would say though, Deck, is I'm convinced Butler Secret may want some cut in the ground. I've said that before. I'm not sure if he's going to get it. He has the penalty to give away, but do you think he has the winning of this race anyway?
Well, look, if he wants to be the champion hurdle horse, I thought he will be, but he still has time to prove he is. I was just so taken by him in Ace that day when he looked like he'd never seen a hurdle before at the first. I know I'm repeating myself again, but he went down to the last, looked like a professional, and then jumped really, really well at Fairyhouse, and he beat Give Me Five that day at Fairyhouse. It was he didn't jump well at Cheltenham, and they didn't jump them all. So I just definitely put a line through that race. But it's a little bit worrying for me. A little bit of doubt has crept into my mind. But look, I still, it's that day. It's Nace and Fairyhouse, and I thought he was good at Punchestown, and he was ran down by the filly, who was an excellent juvenile. And we know the juveniles are like a force to be reckoned with this year. So, like, his 3 runs last year were excellent, really, really good. So he just needs to recapture that form, and let's hope he can. And it's not a fact that he just hasn't trained on. Fair play to the Raiders. Harry Durham
we got 2 of them.
Yeah, we've 2 of them. Harry Durham hasn't been afraid to come over. He
came over at Give Me Five last year, didn't he?
He did, and I think he came over with a couple at Punchestown, and fair play to him. Really love to see it. And Harriet Dickin wouldn't know who Harriet Dickin is, but he was second in the Cheltenham race, Dodger Long. But Andy, I think Woodham has been well placed, really, really well placed.
Yeah,
she's obviously a nice horse, but I just think that's why she's been well placed, and I'd say she could be shorter than she should be, certainly when it opens up, and people could pile into her. But I'd be disappointed now if she beat some of these geldings. Eagles Rain, he won the Lartigue. He was second in the Fred Winter, but I just think some of these here now he's going to have too much to find with them. And when he's a lovely horse, and he'll want a bit of dig in the ground as well. I just think he's going to have a little bit too much to find. At the moment, Andy, I'm thinking Carla Conti. She was 2 lengths behind Cargeese in the Grade 1 at Leopardstown. She was a good winner of a handicap, the one at Down Royal, a listed handicap on her return. At the moment, she's the one for me, and I just have a little bit of doubt in my mind with Butler Secret. I hope he comes out and wins this by 20 lengths. Now I hope he wins it, ease down really, really easily, and keeps me champion hurdle bets alive. More the fact that he, kind of, I picked him out that day at Nice, and it was just something I loved, and I hope he fulfills that potential I seen in him. So, it's nice when you pick one out early on like that.
It is. No, there's no better. That makes the sport so good.
Yeah. But Carla Conti, I think, would be a more solid bet on Saturday.
You're probably right. I think this is a very strong race, but and a good example when I talk about the ground for Butler Secret, like he beat Give Me Five without any issues whatsoever at Easter time last year at Fairyhouse.
Yeah.
And that form was reversed on, now admittedly there was hurdles taken out, but the ground was also very quick.
It was quick because it was the day after Ciandana ran, and it was quick. Like, for him to run so well, I'll tell you how quick it was. So,
Yeah.
and it was hard, but he didn't jump well. There was nothing good about it. And if it was the ground, brilliant. Absolutely delighted with that, because it won't be that quick at the festival.
Yeah, and it could also, well, do you see the problem is it could have been the travelling. Like you
Yeah,
just
there's also that. I haven't given up on him, but if I'm to have a bet on Saturday, I'm like, a little bit of doubt has crept into my mind. And with Carla Conti's form being 2 lengths, I know she was fifth, but it was only 2 lengths off Cargeese. You have Malsborough in second. Like, the juveniles are so good. She could be anything as well,
yeah.
And if you're going to get, look, I don't know what prices they're going to be. It's a difficult race to price up, but Bottler Secret is giving away.
Yeah.
What?
No, I'd say it's probably about 6-4 Calaconti, and I'd say Bottler Secret would be about 7-2 maybe. I'm just trying to get it off the top of my head. I
Yeah.
don't think.
Look, I might have been more confident about Bottler Secret in the Royal Bond, even though I had to carry a penalty in that. Just the juveniles were so good.
They were.
You're going to have to give weight to Calaconti. Like, what's he giving her? He's just giving her the £7.
Just
That you would
yeah,
have
they
to
both
give
have. They both have. I think they both
Yeah.
have. Yeah.
But she was 2 lengths off Cargeese and less off Malsborough. And she's come out and she's won in a handicap. And look, I hope Bottler Secret wins, but betting wise, I just think Calaconti's a more solid and confident bet.
Fair enough. Yeah, fair game. Right, on to the Close Brothers rated novices hurdle deck over 2.5 miles, the 2:30 on the card. Right, who do you like here? It's rare you see a kind of a conditions hurdle in Ireland that's not a graded race, and also has 14 runners. Like, it's it's about as competitive as you really get. So yeah, like, I suppose it is essentially a handicap for all intents and purposes.
It is,
some horses without, some horses with, like Stormbreaker, no rating, but like he is 121 for all intents and purposes. Also by Proconsul Jenny Mack. I didn't know he was a stallion. He is kind of Frankel's peasant brother, I suppose. I think he might have won a Group 3 or something. Anyway, we're not here to talk about that.
He must be starting to become popular, because I was looking up the stats for. Not that I look up those Sawyer stats for races.
Yeah.
If I want to have a bet, I don't fancy reading the form. But he came up a bit there in a couple of races in England, so or Britain, today. So maybe he's one worth keeping an eye on.
Billy the Real Big Red. Billy the Real Big Red is his best jumps horse at the moment. A 4-year-old for Oliver Greenall and Josh Guerrero, who actually won a banger at the end of October. Okay, fair enough. Only a 4-year-old. Yeah, so he's obviously a new enough sire, because I think his oldest crop are 5 years of old. And Stormbreaker here is 5. So look,
he the winner today.
Oh, did he? Okay, there we go.
Yeah, Twip Story.
Twip Story.
Yeah.
There we go. Getting all the Sawyer stats now and taking the podcast. Right, Deck. Stormbreaker, who was, as I said, a winner two and a bit months ago, beat Mr. Escobar, who recently followed up at Sedgefield at no less. Like, Willie Mullins is just messing at this stage, sending horses to Sedgefield. But anyway, that wasn't a bad performance at Listowel. They're well ahead of Boston Beach, who was third. He's been given a mark of 119. It is probably workable. Do you think he sets the standard here, or would you be, he's the one you kind of want to win, though, isn't he? Because he's the least exposed of them all. But what way do you see him going here?
Well, look, he is the least exposed, and he will be hoping he's a nice horse. But I'm actually gonna go for the oldest horse in the race, Andy. Yeah, he's a horse of a good bit of time for Freeman's Bay. He won a maiden at Cork in March, and he done it quite well. He won at a nice price. Look, I know he's a 7-year-old, but he was fifth in that conditions hurdle at Punchestown, the Louis Fitzgerald. Can often be a nice race where Willie's won it with future grade 1 horses, I'm sure. Look, I was hoping he'd go chasing this season, and maybe he will still, but it's not a race of putting an awful lot of time into. It's very hard to work out. And it is kind of a handicap, but it's not the type of handicaps I want to be taking or getting involved in. So, yeah, look, I think he's a really, really likeable horse. So I'll go with Freeman's Bay.
Freeman's Bay. I think I said Stormbreaker's 119. Sorry, he's 121. Just in case I give him a bit of false information here. So Freeman's Bay for deck. I see good old Run for Harry is in here as well after one run over fences. A horse that I think I tipped up quite a bit. Like I managed, like he won a horse that I think I tipped him a good few months ago. I think it was at Nace off 105, and he was just that little bit too keen. Went through the summer and ended up finishing up off 123 over hurdles, which he runs off today. But I managed to back him and watch him get beat off 105, which is always nice to see. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see how he goes on his return to hurdles after that one chase start. Look, I do hope Stormbreaker does win though, because he is probably the kind of a most exciting horse in this field. Apples of Brazil as well in there for Barry Connell. Obviously,
yeah, Sean Flanagan takes the ride.
Yeah, definitely, yeah, for Sean until he does something mildly inconveniences the trainer. Anyway, but it'd be interesting to see how he gets on if he finally got his head in front over hurdles there last time out at Gowran. He seemed to be a horse, like he was sent off 3-1 to beat Ballyburn on his race course debut in a bumper at Punchestown. So maybe hasn't quite lived up to that yet, but we'll see how he goes. Anyway, Deck, onto the 305, which is the Roganstown Hotel and Country Club 20th anniversary handicap hurdle. So congratulations to that country club on its 20th anniversary. I thought most country clubs would be like 60 or 70 years old. I thought they're kind of dated now, those type of things, aren't they? Like country clubs, so you don't let women in, or you go play your golf, you have your lunch.
No, they're just pubs on the main road now, aren't they? With the car park full.
Gastro pubs.
Yeah, but they're always on the main road on the national road. The car park's full, absolutely full, 12 in the day.
So good.
That's right. Anyone.
Well, Deck, you probably know where I'm going to go here.
Yeah, you're going for the fire all now, here. Yeah. You reckon? Yeah. You're still a bit annoyed at Keith, are you?
I'm still a little bit salty. Now, yeah, but you see, the thing is, the first time cheek pieces have gone on, so maybe the horse isn't genuine. But look, yeah, totally well. Like 9, it's going to be his 9th run. He's won twice. He's been placed 4 times, and then 4th the other 2 times, and they were his first 2 runs of his life. So very, very consistent. Not ideal that he got £4 at Navan, but in my opinion, he should have won. But I think we get the money back here. I think this is a very progressive 4-year-old who, if ridden maybe a little bit more prominently, I think will just keep winning. I think this is a very, very nice horse. As I said, the horse that he beat at Wexford is a horse I've a lot of, or the horse that beat him at Wexford is the one I've a lot of time for, Old Man Dingle. So I think Owen Griffin trains that one. Good to see good old Dancing Jeremy back, and look at that, Michael O'Sullivan takes the ride. Good old Jeremy, legend of a horse. One of the kind of, he'd be probably one of the first into the Top Hall of Fame. He ran at Listowel on the flat and he ran okay. Hopefully he gets around safe and has a good time. This is a big ask for him though on his seasonal reappearance over hurdles, 25 runner handicap. But it will be totally well for me in the first time cheek pieces deck. But who do you like?
Look, the top weight is a horse I absolutely love, Andy, and I might be the only person who loves him because he hasn't really done an awful lot, but he's gone to Eric McNamara now, and I've no doubt he'd sweeten him up. He's not in love with fences, Highland Charge, but he was a lovely novice hurdler. He won the King's Force. He was second to Sir Gerhard at Leopardstown. I thought he was quite a nice hurdler, and I think that there's probably nobody better than Eric McNamara at sweetening horses up, particularly ones that come from Jigginstown. He's bought a few. Yeah, and Real Sale as well. He's won 2 big pots with Real Sale now. Isn't he the Munster National and when the Paddy Power with him.
Paddy Power, yeah.
Yeah, you know, so I have no doubt. Look, this is first hurdle run for Eric. I have no doubt he'll be sweetened up and he'll win a couple of races. It might be a big ask of him on Saturday. So look, he might be a big price and well worth to go. But Golden Joy was in that race and well fancied. I think there was a lot of money for Golden Joy in the race that at Down Royal that Calaconte won. I'd say it was a decent enough hurdle, and I'd say you get more winners coming out of it. Look, that was his handicap debut. I know he was a hurdle winner in France, but I just think he'll strip enough. Like he'll obviously stripping off not fair, but I just think he'll be a different horse now on a second handicap on Saturday, and I'd be confident enough now he could go and do the business here. But maybe the next day for Highland Charge he'll definitely be sweetened up. There's definitely going to be races he'll pick up this season.
Yeah, interesting one. Highland Charge, so keep an eye on him. Very good, right? We'll move on to the 340 then, Deck. The bumper. Have you anything for the bumper? I feel like this could be a rinse and repeat because there's a few entries here from
look, I briefly spoke about Jack's Hill with Luke last week. Said if he was to run, probably the most likely winner, but kind of knew he wasn't going to run. Harry Spawn, I think Harry Spawn gets the choice, so I'd say the other one's not going to run, and Jack's Hill will run. So look, I haven't really looked at it too deep, to be honest. I might look at it on the day.
Yeah, no, it's not a race I'll be going too mad for. He's a famous name, what a legend. He used to always pop up at Leopardstown in those lists.
Well, proper great. Group 2 horse.
Yeah, literally the definition of a Group 2, Group 3 horse. Famous name, legend. Yeah, right. Well, look, we'll move on to Sunday real quick, Deck. We'll scan through the card. Obviously, there's some grade ones on Sunday. We're working without declarations as we're recording on Thursday night.
Yeah, we'll have a big look, and I have a little bit for tourists tomorrow as well.
Lovely. Well, actually, I did put the Royal Bond up. I don't know if you want to speak or anything about that, but
look, from what we've seen, looking at the race, and you see one Bottle of Secret's not going to run. Looking at the like, it's been a slow start to the season, but Romeo Coolio was very, very impressive. I thought a horse that I thought would waste the season of hurdles. That we've done that nicely, and it would be very difficult to see him being beaten now in that field. He's obviously carrying a penalty. Does he have to carry a penalty?
No. It's just he's 11-4. It's just a Group 2.
Right. There's no. Yeah. Okay. So there's no winner's penalty for just winning a race. Right.
I see Willie Mullins has Planture in here. Did you see that? The horse that came from Poland.
No.
Literally the 8-year-old there, and he's.
I'd say that's Plantier.
Plantier, whatever. But he's the 8-year-old. He's an Entor as well, which is unbelievable. He won at Sligo over hurdles, and so still interesting that he's still an Entor. Like if they win the Royal Bond, they could get a cheap National Hunt sire out of it at the end of the day. So you never know. It'd be a very, very cheap one now, but it's something that you can at least send your mare to something that can jump.
He's still owned by someone in Poland, is he?
I have no idea. I don't know how this.
That where mare pegs it.
Yeah, it probably is. Yeah,
yeah. So look, maybe that's their plan.
That's it.
Send them to the best jump trainer in the world.
Yeah. Don't you dare get them. Win a race with them.
Don't, yeah. Willie's like, can we get I'll run it for years.
Very good. Yeah, no, Romeo.
I give him 2 seasons off. Get them. I give him 2 seasons off. I'll come and win everything.
Blue Devassi would, he's not going to run, is he? So there's no point of even talking about it. He's 7-1 in the betting there. He's just as good as Romeo Coolio in my opinion. But the betting's telling you that Romeo Coolio's running. I don't know if I'd want to take odds on about him. Because he only beat Trees the last day, but he did it impressively. But yeah, he is probably the most likely winner. The Drinmore deck, very tight field. 11-10 Firefox, 5-4 Heartwood. I'm sick of horses like Heartwood and Gallard de Minale and IR Maximus rocking up in this Drinmore. It's just like it should be a race for.
Yeah,
I know.
this season's novices.
This season's novices, exactly. A little bit frustrating, but what can you do? Hartwood obviously has very strong form, but Firefox, you would like to think, is maybe a little bit more classier now.
Yeah, but I tell you, the two I like, Andy, and I'll be hoping one of them runs. Crow Park, I thought that was a really, really nice chase debut. I thought it was quite impressive, and I think, fences, he definitely won fences going to be the making of. I think his horse could go right to the top. He'd done things. Was it Navan or Nace where he won his? Did he win a? Was it a graded race or was that his maiden? But he done things nicely enough now. I was on Navan or Nace last season as a novice hurler, and
he won at Navan last season as a novice hurler.
Was it Navan? Yeah. I thought he was good on his chase debut. I was impressed with that. Now I'd say he's going to be a right one over fences, and then Jordan's. They dropped him back in trip. He went from 2-2 to 2 miles in the Craddockstown, and I'm not sure what it was. Did he fall or he was? Facile Vega fell, and he brought him down.
Yeah, he's basically brought down. Yeah.
Yeah, it's down as an unseat. Now that's unlucky.
Yeah, it was just the horse. There was nothing. Who was it? I think it was
Facile Vega or Facile Mode.
Facile Mode. Yeah, there was nowhere for Danny Mullins to go. So the horse was getting up as Jordan's was literally landing. So Jordan's didn't fall, but like it catapulted Danny Mullins into the air. He just didn't have a chance. So
it's an unlucky unseat now. But yeah, look, I thought he would have, after winning his race at Punchestown over 2 mile 2, I thought they would have gone open trip. And I was thinking the Flood of the Pearl maybe it was a bit too far to go from 2-2 to 3 miles. So I'd say he's nice enough now. And 2 mile 4 could be right up his street at this moment. He's only a 5-year-old as well.
Yeah, plenty of improvement there. I'd like to think Firefox can go and win this. Obviously, Gorgeous Tom probably deserves a mention too. Like he was good at Cork the last day as well, beating Monbeg Park. So yeah, like he'd have to have a fair chance too. But Hartwood probably does set the standard on all known form. But like I did think Firefox looked quite good on his chasing debut. So the 240 then deck the Hatton's Grace, bit disappointing, I would say.
It is, but it's not a race that's always. It's rarely disappointing. You normally get a nice feel in this. And like I remember Beacon Hedge running this probably 5 years ago, and thinking he's going to win everything. It's a little bit disappointing, but like, you reckon Maxim could be a stairs hurdle horse?
I think he'd go well in a stairs hurdle. Yeah, I wouldn't actually. I'd care less what he does now until the springtime. But I think he could go well.
Yeah, so you're getting the stairs hurdle winner, you're getting the mares hurdle winner, or the mares hurdle winner, who is being talked up as a champion hurdle winner, and you're getting Andy's selection for the stairs hurdle, still only a 7-year-old Maxim, and then you're getting a fella who kicked the English stayers out of the way there at Wetherby a few weeks ago. So while it looks disappointing, there's not an awful lot to complain about either.
Fair enough.
You're right. You're getting possibly a champion hurdler in Lossiemount, and normally you do we've had champion hurdle horses running in it, but it's mostly stayers that run in it, and the division is usually weak. So we're getting 4 nice horses turning up here. I prefer to look at it that way.
Fair enough.
The good horses, the pool, the percentage should be smaller. You shouldn't have, I don't think you should have open company grade 1 should be massive fields like the champion hurdle used to, because there's not that many good horses around. If there is, they're probably not as good as you think they are.
That's a fair point.
They're 4 nice horses, like.
And do you think the mare could beat Tehupo, or would you be with Tehupo?
He's good though, isn't he, Tehupo? Like he's good at what he does. There's nothing sexy about him. But she is in the could be anything bracket, so I don't know. It's definitely not a betting race.
Yeah.
But I just think it's not as bleak as people think, or people have been made out. If you think this is bleak, you're just a gambler.
Yeah, that's a fair point. Look, Tihupo he crashed Honeysuckle's party, and then I suppose in a way last season kind of crashed Imperi Passo's party. And I know he's favoured to beat Lossiemouth this week, but he'd be kind of crashing another party there, in my opinion. So, yeah, why not keep it up? I think he is the winner of the 2024 Royal Bond. But I will be
Party
interested to
crash.
see. Yeah, I think I'd be interested to see how Maxim goes. I think he's going to be a proper horse over 3 miles. I'd forgive what he did in the Lismullen. I'm going to forgive whatever he does here. I think he'd be able to dictate a small field against lesser rivals, almost like we did at Fairyhouse last year and in handicaps. But I think Gordon's just building them up for a 3-mile spring campaign. So I'd be very interested to see how he runs anyway here. So Tihupu for both of us then, Deck, yeah? Or are you going to go with the mare?
I'm reluctant. She gets the trip well also. So, look, I'm reluctant to put up a selection in this.
Fair enough.
But look, I'll have given out enough winners by the time this race rolls around.
That's a good point. Right, just rattling through the rest of the Sunday card. I just want to put up one for the 12:30 race. The price boost across all channels, juvenile hurdle, the bar one racing. It's a grade 3 for the 3-year-olds. There was one horse that really caught my eye, and all the rage is going to be Willie the who's already apparently won the champion or the Triumph Hurdle according to people online. Absolutely hyped beyond belief, but look, it is what it is. It's the time we live in. But I was really impressed by Cool Dreamer of Willie McCreary's on his hurdling debut. Like
that was very good.
He jumped like a horse that was, as you said, it was in love with it. Went off, bounced out for Ricky Doyle, went hurdle to hurdle, and just grounded his rivals into submission. Now, it might not have been the strongest race in the world. He only got an RPR of 104 for it. So, he has to improve immensely. But, like, the horse at the time of his life and jumped brilliantly. And, why not? Why couldn't he do that again? Is the way I was thinking. I hope he goes out and makes this a test and jumps boldly again and maybe catches a few of these out, because I don't think that was a fluke. And I'm going to put him up as a bet on Sunday. So Cool Dreamer for me. Quite excited to see how he does. I might pop a few more up online. Obviously, we got the Porter's Town, which is obviously a great race as well, and a few others. A few other nice races going on there too. Tech, you had a few. You said for Thurles on Friday. Is that correct? Before we log off.
Yeah, tomorrow. Yeah, I only realised late tonight that Thurles is actually on. But
rescheduled meeting, isn't it? I think.
Yeah, they've had no luck. Even today was a little bit of a farce, but sure, look, we do love Thurles anyway. The handicap chase at 12:30. Look, we mentioned Philip, the form he's in earlier on. Only one plan, 7-year-old. His chase debut now, but ran over hurdles a lot. Has won twice and placed an awful lot. One off 95, in here off 100. If he can jump, I'd say he's well handicapped and he's got a great chance. The finale is a handicap hurdle. It's not a bumper, as you thought, Andy, when I mentioned I fancied the rag. Look, there's 2 others I think have a chance well, and they're at nice prices. John Story, he ran on his handicap debut, and then he unseated the next time out, and he was probably going to run a nice race, but it's too hard to tell. I can see him having a good go at this. And then Demanding Glory, the 5-year-old, looked off on his second handicap the last day. He made a really bad mistake, 2 or 3 out, and probably just ended his race for him. And if he jumps around here, he's got another one's going to have another good go. But the mare right down the bottom of the betting, Vroom Bog, is it?
Vroom Boo.
Vroom Boo. Struggling to read
Vroom Bog.
behind Blue Mosque at Cork, but was third to Savante the time before that in a maiden. We spoke Savante up and how she could be a nice horse. I think she's very, very inconsistent. That was probably a nice performance that day. The second, who's trained by Willie Mullins, has come out and won. This horse wasn't off on her handicap debut. You're going to see a much improved performance. I've seen 40-1 earlier. I reckon. I think she wins this.
James Andrew Fatty, yeah, he's a good old trainer as well. He of Dancing Jeremy fame. So
Dancing Jeremy, yeah.
Love to see it.
No, look, great. That's I'd be having a go on it. I did a bit 40-1 earlier. But yeah, I reckon. Look, you're never like when you find three in the race, you're like, ruins a bit for you. But then, no, the form is there. The form is there. That maiden form is good. And dropped £2, I think she was, for her handicap debut. Might be enough for them to have a go.
Well, let's hope so. I look, you've made a case for her anyway, and she's a big price. So off 98, we'll see how she goes. Right. Well, that was a bumper episode of Tap 79 with Andy and AI Deck. We only got Deck's
the avatar.
Yeah, exactly. Hopefully Deck's camera will be working for next time, Tap 80, which will probably.
I'm gonna have to buy. I hope this 40-1 shot wins because I have to buy a new laptop, I think.
Oh no, it's fun as always. We don't need to see your face, Deck. It's fine. No, I'm only messing with you. So look, it was always a good time. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. We've back a few winners. Did we have a nap at the top before we go? Or Calaconti maybe?
You on Calaconti? Yeah.
Yeah, I think she'll win. Yeah.
I think it's a weak nap at the top now.
Yeah, that would be the.
What else did we got? 203. No, you didn't like that. Okay, we'll have to go with Calaconti. So we're not just nap at the top, broom, boo. No, we got with Calaconti.
You speak me into it. Be Calaconti, probably, and then Pebble Blue in the 12 minutes past 12 race at Fairyhouse on Saturday. As well as the I think it's the half 2 race or the 305. Sorry, the 305. I will be on Tonini well as well. They're my two strongest bets of the week at Fairyhouse. So yeah, until next time, Deck. Any ones that are really, really strong actually for you before I let you go that are away from Turles? Are you stronger on anything on the Fairyhouse?
Golden Joy. Ring Dufferin. Look, I just don't know whether the King of PRs is going to be ready, but he'll be winning races this season. Then I'm excited to see 203.
Lovely. That should be interesting.
I'm going to be now. This is 11:35. Drum lessons finish at 11:40. This will be
Max Verstappen down to the.
Well, look, I'd make it in an hour or less than an hour, but that's if he's coming. If I have to drop him home now. And I really, really want to see that race.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you want to put your foot down. Right. Until next time, guys, just keep like, share, and subscribe, and we'll be back to you with Tap 80 soon. But for now, that was Tap 79, and bye bye.
Cheers.